So everyone, right, getting down to impact and losing your angles and flipping it, standing up on it, not getting the shaft lean that you're after for those clean, consistent, pressed out shots and that penetrating ball flight, fat shots and thin shots. Guys, really, really interesting video here for you. I'm going to take you in a completely different direction, and I dare say many of you haven't seen this before. We're looking at evidence-based instruction, get you on the path to playing some much better golf. So without any further ado, let's get started. So guys, right, club golf is developing a more dynamic hand and wrist motion to get that shaft lean, that 10 to 12 degrees. There's a timing to it as well. Obviously there's a bit of flow and feel in a golf swing, as we can hear these sounds right in the backswing and right at impact. See the end of the grip pointing up. Take note of that. It's a very interesting position to get this lead wrist, to be able to handle lag, to be able to handle these positions with a lot of lag and a lot of power coming in. We have to be able to learn how to release this lead wrist. Very important. We're seeing a lot of players standing up on it. That's because it's a subconscious move. Otherwise they would plow into the ground. But really getting in here and having a very wooden style of release, what we're going to do is actually learn to get some extension, more extension with this lead wrist through the ball, so that we can really start to time this release and get ourselves moving and be able to handle all this energy, this lag angle. Because if we don't, we're just really presenting the heel to the ball, and that is the reason why we're seeing most people flip to get it to square. When we get this lead wrist moving correctly through the golf ball, and we get some flow and we get some trust and we get some really up into the 40-50 degree area of extension of this wrist with so many players, we're going to develop this release, get the shaft lean that we're after at impact and match it up. It's about 0.2 seconds from here to here. So this side belongs to this side. It's one motion through the ball. Sometimes we hear people say, well, after impact it doesn't matter. Well, of course it does. It's one continuous motion. Let's get into a great drill now, and also that evidence-based instruction. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the button, hit the bell, hit the like button, helps me out. WorldClassGolf.com, 1,200 videos, so many people joining. Guys, let's get stuck into the video. So guys, it really is remarkable when we're looking at the world's best ball strikers from certain angles and what they're really doing. They're really looking at evidence-based material here. Tiger Woods right, Fred Couples left. Have a look at the angle. It's a little bit of a shadow effect here, but you can still make out that angle of Tiger Woods' right hand here as he's coming down. Have a look at that position there. Now through the golf ball, we can definitely see this lead wrist. Look how it moves back into extension here. And that is, we're seeing this a lot. Have a look at Fred Couples' position here. Just have a look at the creases on the skin. Pop your left hand into that position yourself. Have a look at the creases on the back and see how much he's actually, no one has more lag than Couples, right? So you've got to be able to get rid of this lag, dump this lag and get that speed at the bottom and get that club face right in the exact position. Let's have a look at Arnold Palmer, the king. And what an angle. This is quite remarkable when you're looking at this angle here. Have a look at the wrist angle on that, will you? I mean, obviously that's a tremendous amount of talent, but, by understanding that it's actually allowed to move your left wrist into this position through the golf ball. Have a look at that. Right, so they're all, in a way, we're not flipping it. It's got nothing to do with that. And have a look here, one of my favourite players, Oosthuizen through the golf ball. What a golf swing. Greens in regulation. How good is this guy? Through the golf ball, timing this release, getting this wrist to really break back on itself. It's just such a great feeling. And for club golfers, it's a great place to be. We can see it from different angles. We see Couples through here. We start to understand it's okay to do that. I can get big angles on the way down. And when I start to work on this time of this release and getting into a wonderful position, finish position, it's going to help us out a lot. Now, it's got nothing to do with flipping it, of course. We're looking at the two averages. We've got lateral movement, 10 to 15 centimeters with the head. We've got a little bit with the hip, I should say, and a little bit with the head, and we're still getting in there and still having this shaft lean. And this is an important part. This is what we're showing at WorldClassGolf.com, working with evidence-based instruction. Dr. Rob Neal, regular guest on the Golf Channel. And we'll have a look in there. 11 degrees of shaft lean, guys. These are the places where the closer you get to it, the better you hit. You're working on the right stuff. Right, let's get into the drill. Let's get into the video here, and we can start to feel and improve our hand and wrist motion. Now in this drill here, first off, what we're going to be looking at doing is having a look at what the left hand actually does. Now you can see my left hand moving here. When you see it in different angles, you'll see the left wrist moving into extension. You can see there I'm just releasing that one slightly. See that the club's moving up through the forearm there. We can see that the left hand is moving into extension. We can actually, when we speed it up, we can start to hear the club start to look pretty good. And when we get around this area here, we want to be seeing these three fingers. To get that, you need to be able to get this lead hand to move back into extension so you can get that power, that snap, right at where the ball is. And by using, at times, the other side of the brain, when we're looking at feel, sound, it's an important part of the motion, because one of the things, it's moving so fast we can't really think that much about it. So if I'm trying to get the club to swoosh out in front of me, what happens is when I get that, and Justin Rose has spoken about that, we start to get some angles and then we start to square stuff up. World Class Golf Instruction has over 700 detailed videos for every golfer. Practice programs and evidence-based material is applied in helping you to become your own coach and play your best golf. Join us in the chat room and join the community of World Class Golf Instruction. Once we get the shaft lean, you've got your compression line. After that, you've got to be able to let this thing release. And to do that, we're going to be looking at the right hand coming in like this, the left hand coming in this fashion here. So that when you're coming into impact, your right wrist is here. And after the follow through, the left wrist is moving like that. And at the bottom, the club's nice and square. So you've got your lateral movement. But looking really at what this hand is doing through the golf ball, you will see shut players with very strong grips and very shut club faces, coming down and releasing it in a more neutral effect. You'll see players with very, very weak grips rolling it more, but this lead wrist will still always be moving into some form of cup or some form of extension. By applying these practice swings with your left hand first, get into the position into here where you can get the club around parallel to the ground. You start to see these three fingers, and around about, you can get that toe to point upwards. It's going to get you pretty close to the amount of rotation. You see my hand rotating. There's always going to be rotation, and this is where the club golfer doesn't do it. But that left hand drill is a great exercise, getting that left hand to move in extension. Lots of practice swings. Seeing these three fingers here, you'll get a feeling, and then you can put your right hand on, get that club to swoosh out in front, and let that lead wrist move back up and into extension to get that snap, compressed shots like that one there. Guys, let's have a look now at some evidence-based material. Now let's have a look as the handicaps slightly improve. As we're heading into around the 10-12 handicap, we can see it starts to get a little bit better. We're moving into the 9 handicap, and we start getting down into the 4-3 sort of handicap area, and then of course you're moving into the tour professionals, where it starts to look. But just by developing your hands and your wrists and working on your swing technique, guys. World Class Golf Instruction, we've got 1,000 videos. We've had so many people join recently. It's helping so many people. The swing style also deep to shallow, which is helping a lot of players. There's so many advanced videos on that platform. The advanced pitching series, also for online lessons if you're interested. CraigHansonGolf.com. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and work with facts, get on the right track, and we can all get in there and play our best golf. If you liked the video, like it. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching.